In Labyrinth City, our protagonist, an adventurer named Nick, is enjoying his better and better life when he is abruptly kicked from his party by his mentor August, followed by his girlfriend Claudine dumping him. Disillusioned, before he even realizes it, Nick develops an otaku lifestyle around teen idol Agate. A look into the recent past shows that Nick continued to mope around after his life was turned upside down until a concerned girl approached him. She gives him a concert ticket and explains that she is an idol and, as an idol, she considers it her responsibility to cheer people up. Still, Nick exclaims that he has no interest and sends her away. The girl ends up being the Agate, and we return to the present to see that Nick is happy he went to the concert. Nick returns to adventuring to fund this lifestyle but requires a new team. His first attempt at starting a party doesn't go well, as he remembers how August told him he wasn't a real adventurer and shattered his confidence. The guild closes for the day as Nick is unsuccessful at talking to even one person, and he heads to a nearby tavern. By chance, at the tavern, he shares a table with 3 other unrelated people. Nick notices that one of them has a rare and expensive jewel. He thinks about how the girl is clearly from a wealthy family and how she seems like a mage but might be an assassin. The cleric has undoubtedly been drinking, and not wearing a medal is an obvious sign that he has been excommunicated. The last person is a dragonian who seems to have been in many battles but reminds Nick of a wounded animal. He begins a toast to his old friends and girlfriend but quickly condemns them. He finishes his drink, and the 4 at the table simultaneously state that they cannot trust anyone in the world. They're all shocked by the coincidence and become acquaintances, sharing their stories. Even among the noble families, Tiana is a prodigy magician gifted with an affinity for wind and water magic. One day, she finds her fiancé Alex and explains how she will graduate a year early, which impresses Lynn, the girl accompanying him. Alex, obviously jealous, accuses Tian of bullying Lynn in school and says that teachers are taking bribes in exchange for changing her grades. Tian is insulted at the accusations, but he points out how she is only ever bragging about her powerful magic skills or making everyone feel bad since they aren't as rich as she is. Alex mentions that she always claims to work hard for him, but her being the top student at school makes him look bad. He has had enough of all the humiliation he has received and breaks off their engagement. Without the school, Tiana searches for a job but is rejected at every turn. She just so happens to find a betting slip for a nearby race and is shocked when she wins. Not long after, she would get addicted and lose almost everything. Without a way to pay her rent, Tiana considers becoming an adventurer. However, because of her glaring eyes, she scares away potential teammates. These events led her to the tavern. Nick then turns his attention to the cleric. Sim used to be a healer priest until he rejected the advances of a young village girl. Being devoted to the church, he explained that she should pursue other things, but the rejection proved too much for the girl. Sometime later, Zim is set to be promoted to High Cleric but is arrested when the girl, still harboring anger, accuses him of hurting her, leading to his expulsion from the priesthood. He was imprisoned for some time and afterward banished from the city as not a single person believed his innocence. With nowhere to go, he found himself in another town where he met a woman needing healing. He helps her with her back pain, and she recommends he go to Labyrinth City to become an adventurer and see the world. Nick then turns to the final stranger and states it's now her turn. The Dragonian is hesitant to speak but then begins to say that something significant to her has been stolen by a person she trusted. The 4 drink together over their shared inability to trust people. Nick wakes up to find that the other 3 he had met at the tavern are passed out in the same room as him. He asks them to leave, but Tiana points out that it's her room, and they are the ones that need to go. They begin to part ways, but Nick realizes they will remain disillusioned unless they do something about it and suggests they form a team together. The four go to the guild to register as an adventurers party. Nick gets recognized as previously being part of the Masters of War group. They also discover that Curran is famous for being the sole survivor of a team that attempted a C-rank labyrinth and all died. Nick proposes to name their new group the Survivors, and everyone agrees. As each team member has trust issues, they set up 3 laws for the party. 1. No interfering with other people's hobbies. 2. Watch the money. 3. Come back alive, no matter what. Further rules are made concerning money to make it impossible to access team earnings unless all 4 agree. They also agree to point out the sketchy behaviors and rules violations of other members if noticed. As a new team, they start at the G rank and must defeat 2 G rank labyrinths to be promoted. Nick explains that G rank labyrinths are practice areas for beginners and that it will be a good exercise for Deanna and Zim, who never experienced actual combat before. Their first monster encounter is with a slime, which Nick swiftly defeats bare-handed as a demonstration. While discussing the nature of monsters, Tiana gets shot with sticky fluids by a slime and trips. Wanting revenge on the slime, she accidentally fires a spell at Curran, damaging their fragile trust and causing resentment. They reach the dungeon boss, a giant slime, which Tiana recklessly attacks with water magic, ignoring Nick's attempts to warn her, killing it and covering everyone in slime, increasing Curran's resentment. Reviewing their earlier fight, Nick advises Zim to stay in the rear in the future and guesses that him being in the vanguard was due to not trusting the other members to kill the monster and wanting to finish it himself, which he agrees to. He also suggests that Tiana should consult on what type of magic to use if unsure. As a team-building exercise, Nick asks everyone to reveal their strengths and weaknesses. He states he is good at unarmed combat, with daggers, scouting, and the administrative side of the party, while not having an aptitude for magic, healing, or being able to use heavy weapons. As the others are reluctant to speak, he does not demand an answer. However, he asks what they hope to accomplish with this party, making Curran, especially, Pounder. Sim smiles and says he is weak to any attack but can heal wounds. Tiana apologizes to Curran by revealing she is good at wind and water magic but weak against fire, earth, and close combat, at which Curran excels, restoring some trust. The party goes to the Goblin Forest next, where they should pay attention to coordinated attacks and not getting swarmed, as goblins fight in packs. Zim gets distracted by Nick's display of skill, and Tiana saves him from an attack from behind. Afterward, everyone agrees that Nick is interest-worthy, as he is much stronger than they thought based on his self-evaluation. They detect an intelligent, magic-resistant ogre. After discussing how to approach the situation, it's decided that Curran has to fight it in close combat, with Tiana providing cover and distraction from afar. After hesitating at first, ultimately, she trusts Tiana to protect her back while killing the ogre. While collecting the goblin horns, everyone begins to feel closer until Nick accidentally causes Curran to drop and smash a meaningful charm from her bag. Please like the video. If we get over 100 likes, I will do future parts and more seasonal anime.